Good afternoon. Hey, I want to welcome everybody to another episode of Veterans in Business for our podcast. This is where we take an opportunity to sit down with different members of the group and just learn a little bit more about who we are, what we do, what brought us to where we're at in life. And this month, we're very fortunate to be able to sit down and talk with Chris Lopez. Just to learn a little bit more about you and what brought you to where you're at in life today, Chris. So tell me a little bit. I know you're in the real estate space. You served in the Marine Corps, but kind of back us up a little bit and tell us what got us to those spots.
So as a kid, the first thing that got me on the route that I'm on was 9/11, right? As soon as that happened, I decided I want to be a Marine. So as soon as I had the chance, I left to the Marine Corps. And when I say that, I mean, I graduated high school a day or two or a semester early. 2 days later, I had a drill instructor in my face yelling at me. And I had a great experience. I did over a decade in the Marine Corps, got my bachelor's in criminal justice, thought I was going to do law enforcement. And then when I get out, I get a job offer from a regular company, and they offered me a lot of money. So I went a different route. And at the same time, I got my real estate license because I wanted to buy some investment properties. I was never planning on helping anyone. This was a personal thing. But as I was doing that, I met a lot of people at the job that I had and made a lot of strong connections. And one of those individuals comes up to me and goes, "Hey, I know you got your real estate license. Will you help me buy a house? We've been having a hard time, me and my family, and we want to go someone I trust." And I'm like, I've never done a transaction yet, right? Like, that doesn't matter. We trust you, and that's the most important thing. And we got him a house. And to me, it was great that I helped them buy a house. But the reaction I saw from him, his wife, and how happy the kids were running into their rooms, because before they were in a little apartment, I was like, I need to keep doing this. So I ended up leaving my job and going full-time real estate. Now, when I first left my job, I also wanted to become just better myself. So I also went to the University of Arlington and got my master's in business. And since then, I've been going 100 miles an hour on real estate, trying to help other people, because that's what it's all about. This is going to be one of the biggest transactions or purchases someone's going to make, and they need someone they can trust to get through that.
Nice. Okay. And, I couldn't agree with you more how it's important to be that trusting source. And you're right about, we help a lot of veterans. I know that's a big part of my business model. And it's that similarity. I think it's the commonality that we have. It's just the fact that people, when they're working with us, know we're going to take care of them. So the trust factor is kind of there a lot. And we were just talking about your friend that is over in Arizona today that called up, just asking some questions. I just answered a few questions for him, gave him my opinion, and I hope that helped put him in a little bit better position, which I think it did, because he's closing on his house tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So that's what we do. We just really help people. And I know you do a lot of volunteer work in the community. We did the hike that we did back in the spring. What was that? What was that we did out in Burleson? What was that for? I can't remember.
That was Chris Landry.
Okay.
And he does several rucks for different events, specifically like Veterans Day, things like that. And it was a Veterans Day ruck.
That's right. I remember that now, because everybody on the square there, we were having a little celebration when it was over. So.
Yeah, and different organizations like to join, like the Marine Corps League. We had a lot of members out there as well that like to do that. I'm big with the Marine Corps League. We do a lot of events there. I'm the senior vice commandant for the Longhorn Detachment, and we do a lot with the community. And to be honest, I love it, because it's allowed me to again give back to the community. Right, we do things like a golf tournament, where we were able to give $20,000 this last year to an organization called Wheelchairs for Kids. And I mainly started joining that organization and that community work. To be honest, it was a lot of it had to do with you. When I finished my master's, you and me had been talking for some time about VIB and possibly opening one up in Fort Worth.
Right.
And you mentored me quite a bit about, how it feels good to be out in the community and helping people, and eventually that allows your business to also grow. But more importantly, like, you become that resource. You meet different people out there and business owners that are able to help out anyone who comes to you, right? So opening a VIB in Fort Worth, again, thank you for that. And it's done a lot for me, and it's what encouraged me to join these organizations, and it's just been phenomenal for me for personal growth, and again, and becoming a resource like you are. Every time I need something, I call you, and you know where to point me. And I feel like I'm starting to become that for some of the people that know me.
Right. And that's really that's my sense of satisfaction, is because you get that service mindset, where I know the people that I trust to help take care of people, and I want to do the same thing to just pass it on. When I retired from the Marine Corps, I was one of the first guys that had retired from my command in years. And so there weren't a lot of resources as I was making my way through. And Ryan Holloway, myself, and a few other people, when we were coming up with the concept of a VIB, that's what we wanted to do, was to be able to be a resource. So I'm so happy that everything is working out for you. You're right. That group in Fort Worth is growing. The chapter is getting better. I'm just excited to see what 2026 is going to bring for Chris and the Veterans in Business group in Fort Worth. So thanks for coming in, sharing some insight into you and your life today. And we just look forward to what else is going to happen here in the near future.
I appreciate you for having me and everything you do.
All right. Perfect.